Welcome back, everybody. It is Randy here for week number 2 of the Pokemon Global Battle League. This week is kind of a special match, interesting match, because we are facing off against SweetBananaGaming, coach of the Orlando Solgaleo. Now, I say this is a special matchup because this is actually the person that I battled, that I used to send my application into the GBAD League. So, obviously, I'm grateful for our good match we had last time. McGarren doing the work last time, but we got a new season, of course. She's a great battler. She actually had a pretty interesting run last season. She went from I think it was 0-3 and then she won a lot of games, lost one, and then came back and made the playoffs or something like that. But I don't remember. It was a good run. So, for one of the more casual players in the league, she definitely knows how to do her work in draft league format. So, of course, check her out in the description below. Yeah. So, anyways, go ahead and jump into our matchup. I'm using a different setting than I used for my XBL Week 3 match. So for the mic, just testing out things, seeing how it works out. So because the other one sounded a little weird to me, so I'm trying this setting out today, see what happens. But of course, let's go ahead and jump into what her team might be. You guys can already see what I'm bringing for the first Pokemon, but their team consists of Mega Absol, Naganadel, which is a Zmon user. I know, really scary. Blaziken, which is a Zmon user. Of course, it's Blaziken. Slowbro, Silvally, Galvantula, Lycanroc, Dusk, Dodrio, Clefable, and Delmise. So pretty top-heavy team. It's scary. Mega Absol, Naganadel, Blaziken, Slowbro could be annoying. Silvally's a mystery, of course. Clefable can also be a very annoying Pokemon as well. So going into the build, I kind of just threw a lot of offensive threats together like I did last week. Bulky offensive threats as well to be able to take hits. So, leading the way, we have Hariyama, the Hariyama, which is running a Flame Orb Gut set, because I figured that was the best set to run this week, especially to check, the Naganadel, which I can do a lot of damage with a Guts boosted Fake Out, as well as maybe Bullet Punch can come in. I know it resists Bullet Punch, but still. It's an interesting set, as you can tell, because I'm not running any Fighting Stab, because I really don't need Fighting Stab. All I need is the coverage moves to be able to, deal with things like Absol, Naganadel, Slowbro, Delmise, Clefable, stuff like that. So really didn't feel that stab was necessary this week. I just didn't feel like it was necessary. So Heavy Slam obviously is for that Clefable. Completely destroys Clefable. I eat a Moonblast no matter what, unless it's Life Orb or something like that, or like a Modest Nature or something along the lines of that. Otherwise, I'm not really too afraid of it. Running up max HP, max attack. I really wasn't really doing complicated spreads this week. I was kind of rushed for time, so I just threw some bulkier, spreads into the mix. Not to say they're not, they're bad. They always work out. I just didn't do any specific calcs to live certain moves or something like that, which could be a problem. But ultimately, I felt it was the right thing to do. So, and also to note, this is a post-com, like I said it was going to be. And of course, shout out to Bill Standish for the layout. He did a nice job of what we got here for the PGBL. Pretty solid, given the color scheme's kind of whack. So. Next up, we have Thunderous coming back for a second straight week. This time running a double dance, set with Agility, Nasty Plot, Thunderbolt, and Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse to be able to hit the Delmise, of course. Obviously, if Silvally's like some sort of bulky ground, obviously I can't really do much to it. I opted to go Dark Pulse to hit Delmise. I know Clefable would probably be a wall anyway if she opts to run Unaware as opposed to Magic Guard. I do expect Unaware just because of my sweeper potential with some mons like this. And I think it's probably the best set potentially. Not too sure. In case it is Magic Guard, of course I do have Nasty Plot for that option. Running Timid max speed. I think enough speed to outrun. I believe it was Naganadel, because I actually outspeed Naganadel by 1 point, if not mistaken. If I remember correctly, I'm actually gonna check that right now because I actually don't remember off the top of my head. I think I do though, because I think Naganadel is 121 and Thunderous is 122. Because I was opting to run. No. I think I'm mistaken. I am mistaken. Naganadel is faster. What am I faster than? It's something I misplaced or something. I must have miscalculated this or something like that. Was it Lycanroc Dusk? I think it was Lycanroc Dusk. No, something else. I can't remember what it was, guys. Oh, it is, yeah. Lycanroc Dusk by 1 base point. So that's why I have Timid Nature Max Speed. Wiki Berry was kind of a weird item. I kind of just threw it on there to have HP in case I want to set up on something like a Fable or, anything that could probably do damage to me, like try to put me in range of something else. So I figured the berry would be fine. I don't know. It was kind of a bad choice in hindsight, but, it's okay. I just kind of threw it on there. Next up, we have a Mew week. The Mew coming in with a near max Spadef set. Running Trick Room, U-Turn, Roost, and Psychic. Having Trick Room and Roost and Sassy Nature, I didn't go like max like min speed because I still wanted to be able to outrun stuff without boosts, without speed changes. And the reason why having Mew with Trick Room is a little weird, but it's good because I can actually have a slow U-turn, quote unquote. So I can U-turn on the slower Mon and, you know, bring in the Mon that I want to use to be able to maximize my potential with Trick Room. So having Trick Room on Mew is something that could be interesting in the future because being able to set up Trick Room and then have a slow, quote unquote, slow U-turn / volt switch out into a Trick Room threat would be very nice. That way I utilize my Trick Room turn the best I can with, you know, with Mew, because Mew isn't the best Trick Room sweeper. It's not slow and doesn't have the best power in the world. And then of course Roost and Psychic were just kind of this filler move. Psychic of course is always a great stab option to hit Naganadel, obviously to kill it, hit Blaziken. And it probably has a good chance to two-shot Dodrio after Rock. Totally does two-shot Dodrio after Rock, so that's something to note there. And of course Roost, pretty self-explanatory. Cobra Berry to be able to take a hit from Absol. Obviously I can't really take advantage of it because I don't have Dazzling Gleam or like Focus Blast or Aura Sphere or something like that. But you know, just being able to take a hit could be important, especially since I already have Fake Out and, you know, Bullet Punch on my Hariyama. So pretty much explains that. Next up we have Shelob, the Araquanid, running a bulky set. Subtoxic, Liquidation, Icy Wind, Adamant Nature, Max Health, Max Attack. I probably shouldn't have ran Max Attack. I probably should have ran more Spadef. If anything, that way I can have another somewhat check to Naganadel and Blaziken, or maybe more Fizdef, I should say, because the only way Blaziken destroys this is with Stone Edge or Thunder Punch, which it can run a BSZ move for. You never know. You know, this thing is a pretty good mod. It actually walls quite a bit of her team. If I expect that unaware, I expect Clefable to be unaware, so Toxic was the move choice for that reason. Liquidation is just spammable, although there is a Slowbro and a you know, Clefable, I guess I could say, but like Liquidation has a chance to you know, drop defenses, and it doesn't really switch into it very well either, unless it's like Max Fizdef, but you really don't expect it to be Max Fizdef. It's probably going to be more specially defensive. That way Slowbro can be more physically defensive. Of course, Toxic is, again, like I said, is for Slowbro and that Del Mai. Substitute is to be able to sub up on something like Blaziken or even his her I guess maybe the Dodrio. Not Dodrio. I don't know. Just having sub was kind of a filler move. Icy Wind was mainly for that Naganadel to slow it down in case I have to, you know, have a last ditch effort to slow it down for something else to come and kill it, like you know, something else, you know, like Thunderous or something like that. So Icy Wind was kind of just a weird move for me. I'm not sure why I had Icy Wind. I probably could have ran Sticky Web, I guess, but Mega Absol was there, so I don't know. Shelob was more of just a way to spam Liquidation and throw out Toxics. Other than that, the other two moves could come in handy later. And again, the Figgy Berry, which is for recovery purposes. I could have ran Leftovers if I was smart, but I don't know. I play VGC, so I like these 50% berries, you know. Next up, we have the Lord Mega Camerupt running a really, really similar set to what I did last week. It's actually the exact same spread, or exact same set as last week. Heavy Slam is my way of killing that Clefable, in case it is specially defensive, which I do expect it to be. Have Stealth Rocks because I really didn't find a reason to run sub this week. So Earth Power and Flamethrower, of course, are my stab options. Mega Camerupt has a very, very good chance of winning this game if I get rid of Clefable or injure it and get rid of that Slowbro. So the idea is hopefully to get everything out of the way for Camerupt to sweep a Trick Room, because I don't expect Stack Attacka to do that with the Slowbro being there. You know, something like Absol can get in the way. Well, not really, but you know, Naganadel could be annoying. I mean, not really. Like Blaziken could be annoying because Blaziken can always just run Vacuum Wave to have a check to it always. Because, you know, Vacuum Wave is my worst nightmare, man. I hate the Vacuum Wave. But yeah. So, I mean, Camerupt has a really good shot at winning offensively. She doesn't really have a legitimate fire resist because Slowbro is not taking Flamethrower very well, unless it's especially defensive. Of course, Clefable, I can always Heavy Slam afterwards, stuff like that, you know. It's a really hard bond to deal with offensively, but, you know, since I have to get a Trick Room first, I'm sure it'll be having its own problems. So, finally, that leads up to Stack Prescott, who had a crazy Week 1 performance, 5 kills, and its debut on the Rangers. So Trick Room, the exact same set, exact same spread as last week. Of course, the Lonely Nature with 17 defense IVs. Of course, as you see, the level here is level 100, so at level 50, it'll be matched up with attack, so just don't be worried about that. Stone Edge, Gyro Ball, Earthquake, all necessary to be able to sweep. Rocky MG, Stone Edge, there's a crap ton, so everything on our team, so hopefully we can get Stack Prescott to add on to its, hopefully, MVP type season. But other than that, guys, that is the team, the Ranger squad for week number 2 of the PGBL. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the battle video and catch what this battle was all about. So I'll let you guys know right now, this battle was really, really crazy. You know, I'm telling you, these PGBL battles are going to be wild because, you know, the competition is very stiff and, you know, a lot of fun stuff being drafted, you know, kind of interesting stuff being tested for tiers. So, you know, that'll be interesting. So here at Team Preview, we have the Absol, Nagano Del, Clefable, Blaziken, Slowbro, and the Delmise. So as you can tell, most of the stuff that I went over in the team builder, I kind of, you know, see here on the squad, and that wasn't because, you know, I expected everything to come. You know, most of it just seemed like it would come. It just made sense. You know, it was just a matter of what kind of sets would these Pokemon be. Absol probably would have been Swords Dance. Nagano Del's probably Nasty Plots with Dragonium Z. Clefable's probably Spadef Unaware. Blaziken's probably like a mixed sweeper with Life Orb with like Vacuum Wave to check stack Attacka at all costs in any mode, Trick Room or non-Trick Room. Probably defensive Slowbro with Scald, maybe Toxic or Thunder Wave, maybe even Calm Mind. Delmise probably going to be Assault Vest or even just like maybe like Choice Band to take advantage of the Trick Room. So, you know, upon a preview, I was a little hesitant on what to lead with, but I felt Hariyama was the best lead because I want to get up my Flame Orb as soon as possible, and, you know, offensively, it just kills everything on our team. So, really wasn't afraid to lead Hariyama. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Again, the layout looks really clean. Again, thanks to Bill Standish, looks really awesome. My little screenshots are zoomed in for this league. Hopefully, it looks all right. Stack Attacka was really hard to fit, so, you know, it's interesting. Hopefully, you guys like it. So we see here that she leads off with the Absol. I lead off with Hariyama. The Baize, the, you know, Absol, I'm not sure where that's from. I'm not really educated on stuff like that. So here I felt, you know, Fake Out was the best play. Get out my Flame Orb and stuff like that. Although my Guts boost isn't here on the first turn, I felt, you know, let's go ahead and get the Flame Orb out of the way. Get it open. So Clefable does come in. Don't really know what set that is yet because it's a weak little base 40 normal type attack. So my Flame Orb does go off. And here I felt Heavy Slam was the best play because, you know, I had the coverage to hit everything on her team. If she goes Slowbro, I can knock off. If she goes anything else that's going to take a lot of damage, even Delmise, I can knock off afterwards. So really wasn't fearing anything too much. And as you can see, she revealed Protect there, knowing that it's probably Unaware with Wish Protect. So here, I could have maybe made a play and went for knockoff, but I felt Heavy Slam was the right play because nothing coming in would really appreciate it nonetheless. So do go for the Heavy Slam, tank that Moonblast, and I'm able to easily knock out this Clefacted in one shot. Easily. So Hariyama already picking up his first kill of the game, first kill of the season, I think. Actually, I don't remember if he got a kill last week. I don't recall. I don't think it did. So Hariyama getting the Ranger started off nice and good. So the Absol does come in. I do want to save Hariyama because this is a check to this thing, as well as maybe even the Nagano Del with the Life Orb Fake Out. So potentially a +1 Fake Out with the Guts boost. So I figured Camera Up was the best option because I could easily just swap into a knockoff, or maybe if she pursued it, that wouldn't have been a big deal. But she does go for the knockoff. I do have my Mega Stone max HP, and it actually does come, in fact, do a 2-shot. So I knew I could live any hit after this because I am going to Mega Evolve and get all that extra bulk. So I knew Earth Power was as free as can be. There's no flying immunity, or no ground immunity, I should say. So Earth Power was the safest play for me to go for. I do tank the knockoff. I think that was a high roll. I don't know why I did like almost as much as I did without the Mega, or with the Mega. So we are able to knock out the Absol, and the Lord picks up the first kill of the game, and in comes the Blaziken. Now, oh, I forgot to update the layout. My bad, guys. So I've been doing manual editings here. So Lord goes down, unfortunately. So, you know, Blaziken, I felt like this second Camera Up was the best play because I wasn't going to be able to outspeed anything else anyway. I know how I said it in the team builder, it was probably going to be a late game sweeper or potentially a sweeper, but at this point the offense is just way too great, and I'm in a good position already, so I didn't want to force anything too much. So do swap into my Spider as she does go into her Davy Jones, the Delmise on my Liquidation. And as you can see here, that Liquidation does a crap ton of damage. That wasn't even a crit, and I do get a defense drop. So getting that defense drop pretty much just sold me to stay in here, go for another Liquidation. And seeing as how I outsped this Delmise, I believe she was running min speed Delmise. That way she could take advantage of Trick Room. So knockoff does come, knocks off my Berry. Does suck, but you know, knockoff is better than taking a Power Whip or a Shadow Claw, I suppose. So do go for my Liquidation once more and knock out the Delmise with ease. So Sheila getting her first kill. So spreading the love so far. Each of my members, Sheila, the Lord and Hariyama each having a kill so far in this game. So a bit of a team effort so far. Looking pretty good. Blaziken comes in, reveals Stone Edge. Figured it had to have Stone Edge or Thunder Punch to hit Shelob. So Shelob does go down. So very offensive game. Quick, fast game going in. And I'm feeling pretty good. I am a little worried about that Nagano Dell because it could very well be a sweeper late game because, you know, my mons are dwindling down a bit. So do go into my Hariyama, go for that fake out. It does a decent amount of damage, a little bit less than I anticipated to do. So there might be investment on this thing unless I just don't know my damage calc. So I do opt to let my Hariyama go down here. And, you know, I am a little worried here at this point because it's 3v3. I'm not sure if my 3 can beat her 3. So I do go into Thunderous here. Pretty much a free Thunderbolt because there's really nothing I can switch to this thing. And we are able to knock out this Blaziken. And we know it's not Scarf because I believe it was Life Orb from earlier. Unless I'm tripping or something, I don't remember. I'm not really paying attention to the game, but in because the Trapinol, the Nagano Dell, and here I'm a little worried because she does go for the nasty plot. My best way to hit this thing is with Dark Pulse. I probably could have went for Thunderbolt to go for a paralysis, but I didn't do that. So go for the Dark Pulse. It does almost a 2-shot, maybe around like 45%. And here is probably the biggest play of the game because she opts to go for the Dragonium Z. What I believe is to be Draco Meteor at this point. So she opts to go for the Z move here. Now, I think if I was a bulky Thunderous, maybe I could have tanked it +2 Sludge Wave, but I don't even think I could have tanked it like pretty much no matter what spread I was. So her going for the Z move there was really crucial because Thunderous goes down. She does indeed get the speed boost, and I have Mew left. It's only a +2 special attack Nagano Dell. The Z move has been burned. I can go into Mew and click Psychic and knock this thing out. As she does reveal the Draco Meteor here. Now, Mew is able to take this at +2. Mew would not have been able to take a Z Draco at +2. So I'm able to take the hit and kill it back with Psychic. Now, if she had killed my Thunderous with Sludge Wave on that turn, I think it would have lost the game because she would have still had the Z move, and you know, Mew would have died, and you know, Sakataka would have died to it. You know, a flamethrower. So here, Slowbro and Slowbro versus Sakataka and Mew. The game isn't over yet because my Mew really can't break this Slowbro, and Sakataka can't either. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I probably blew the game because now my Sakataka can't break the Slowbro. So goes for the Scald, burns my Mew. I opted to go for the Psychic. Oh, I went for the Roost, that's right. Roost to get up damage, to get up my health. So here on this turn, I have to go for Trick Room because I need to get my Trick Room up to allow Sakataka to come in for free and not take any skull damage. So here she goes for the Calm Mind on the turn that I Trick Room. I'm getting that burn kind of sucked because if I hadn't got burned, I probably could have gotten Slowbro in range of a Continental Crush because, you know, given you know what I had, I don't think it would have been in range anyway because like the U-turn just would have done 0 damage anyway despite the burn. So I'm a little worried because all she has to do is slack off on my Continental Crush, and I think the game would be over because I can't break the Slowbro. So goes for Scald. I am going for U-turn on this play, and this is what I mean about having a slow U-turn because if I Trick Room normally being faster, then I can U-turn on them when they're faster. So that's kind of what I mean about having that initiative with the Trick Room and then the U-turn. Or Volt Switch. Volt Switch would have been really clutch in this situation, but didn't have it. So in comes Dak Prescott, tasked with being able to knock out the Slowbro or have a way to win this. So here, I have no other play. I have to go for the Z Continental Crush, or this Continental Crush, Z Stone Edge. And I have to pray that she either does not click Slack Off, either it crits, or she's running more like Spadef. But, you know, max defense Slowbro will pretty much tank this Continental Crush no matter what. So I just have to hope for hope for the best. So the animation goes off here. Slowbro going to get crushed by this big stone. And as you can see there, Paul does indeed tank it, but she opts to go for the Scald. And my stack Prescott does tank. It doesn't get a burn. The burn when I mattered because I could have killed it with Stone Edge anyway. The only difference it made was that I had to click, I was able to click Earthquake on this turn. So the Rangers do end up clicking Earthquake and killing the Slowbro and picking up their second straight win. Sakataka picking up the final kill, ending what was a good match. So that was the game. Stack Prescott coming in. And fun fact, each member of the Rangers actually got a kill. So Hariyama killed the Clefable, Thunderous killed the Blaziken, Mew killed the Nagano Dell, Araquanid killed the Delmise, Camerupt killed the Absol, and then Sakataka killed the Slowbro. So each mod of the Rangers got a kill, which was really interesting. Everyone got a 1-1, or everyone got a 1 kill in the game, which is really cool. But like I said before, the biggest plays of the game were her not going for maybe Sludge Wave on my Thunderous. Now I understand there was probably a risk I could have won to Sakataka, but I wasn't really going to risk that. So a bit of some weird plays happened there. I don't blame her for it. Like, I think I understand why she did it. Like, when I was in the battle, I didn't understand, but you know, my understand probably was more of just, you know, playing it safe. You know, playing it safe is something I always do. You know, in the case Thunderous was like maybe a bulkier spread or something like that. Although maybe the game wasn't all lost if she had killed me there, because she still would have been a +2. But the only difference I would have had to have done was probably go into Mew and double into Sakataka to take the Z Draco. I don't know, but you know, ultimately it was a close game for sure. Again, you know, slacking off on my Sakataka probably could have made a difference. You know, it would have been just about half HP with going for Stone Edge, so it pretty much would have been a stall war until either I crit or I missed. So who knows how that could have went, but nonetheless, the Rangers do pick up a win. Again, make sure you guys check out the SweetBananaGaming. Again, she was the person that I battled last season, in which I used that battle to send my application to the D-League. So, big game, a lot of fun. And next week we do take on JacubAsAlways, I believe is what his name was, coach of the Green Bay Pikachus. He, I know him a little bit. We talk a little bit. We've had chats, so it'll be a fun matchup. And of course, be ready for XBL week number 4, in which we take on our in division rival, South Texas Sableyes. I'll catch y'all then. Go Rangers!